What's going on, everyone? Follow, like, subscribe. Let's get this shit show going.
Disconnect between the head coach and the GM.
Because
and
nobody
when you
sees
have
Howie's vision.
No, Howie's a freaking moron. And there's a reason why.
Howie, you got a moron.
Are you ever gonna let me freaking talk? God damn, bro.
Happy Friday and welcome to another edition of Birds, Beers, and BS here on the AAT Sports Network. We are your hosts, Peanut, as always, alongside myself, Eagle Jeff Warner. We have a great show on tap for you guys today. We'll be breaking down that big Eagles-Lions game from a week ago. The Eagles did make a move at the trade deadline this past week. We'll break that down a little bit. And there's a certain Eagle that is still on the roster that some felt that was going to get dealt. So we'll dive into that. Plus, Eagles-Chargers this week in a very pivotal must-win game for the Philadelphia Eagles halfway through the year.
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll dive in that a little bit. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsors. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant. They are located off Iroquois Trail in Allentown in the Old Town Shopping Center. You can find them again at 6750 Iroquois Trail. Phone number 610-395-2300. They do pickup, takeout, and delivery.
Yep.
So make sure to also check out their website at vinnyspizzapa.com. Again, vinnyspizzapa.com, or order at 610-395-2300.
Yeah.
Open Monday through Saturday. Make sure to check out their game day specials all week long. So make sure to tell Caesar and Vinny that the Birds, Beers, and BS crew sent you over. So
we sent you. We sent you.
Give us the damn credit.
Yeah, pay us. No, I'm playing.
Wow, what a tool. But look, hey,
yeah,
go coming into last week's show, we
depressed.
We felt that we were depressed. The Eagles were on a 2-game skid. We felt that the Eagles going to this game, like we weren't trying to be too optimistic.
Not at all.
We didn't want to go in this game knowing how badly that this team has played this season.
Yeah.
That no win, no matter what the opponent is, was going to be very easy. But look, they proved us wrong last week. They win in dominating fashion.
Yeah.
Beating the Detroit Lions on the road 44-6.
We scored over 40 points. Holy, I'm sorry, continue on.
No, go ahead.
Holy shit. And we did it on the ground. We ran the ball effectively. It was a whole different team, a whole different game. It was the first time I got bored watching them win because it was just a landslide victory. But again, it's against the Detroit Lions, so we'll take it for what it sounds. And
but look,
you know what I mean?
You can't discredit this victory.
Mm-mm.
I understand. Look, the Detroit Lions are a winless football team.
Yeah,
they aren't a great football team this year, but look, they're a competing football team.
They fought hard all year. Yeah,
there are plenty of those games. They lost on an NFL record kicking field goal by Justin Tucker as time expired.
Yeah,
I think they lost to the Bengals on a last second or fourth quarter field goal. So
yeah,
look, there are some games. It's not like the Detroit Lions are getting blown out. A lot of these games, they've been putting up a fight similar to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right. And
going to this game, you had a lot. You were very worrisome from the play of the quarterback position from Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You were worried that our run defense was going to get gashed by DeAndre Swift because we've been allowing absolutely everyone to basically tear down this defense on the ground.
Yeah.
And look, the Eagles somewhat made a stand. They benched Zach Wilson, linebacker, a healthy scratch, and then eventually released him this past week. And you saw a much improved defense with TJ Edwards and Alex Singleton in there. Yeah. Look, this was a team that we were hoping we would see all season long. You brought up before, you saw the ground and pound. You saw a team that was focused and their main priority was the run game. They were running this up the pass. And I understand in the NFL today, That's not typically how you're able to win football games. This is a passing league, but the key to what the Eagles did this past week is they took the pressure off of Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, I think for the first time this season, had less than 20 passes in a game. He was 9 of 14, 103 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, QB rating of 86.3. So he was efficient.
Yeah. He did his job.
He did his job. He didn't make mistakes, and that's what you need. Yeah. That is something that we were expecting going into this year. What Nick Sirianni was going to do, given the history of the Indianapolis Colts when he was there. You saw this past Thursday night. Yeah. You saw Naheem Hines, and they had Jonathan Taylor in there. You saw these guys go off.
Yeah, I agree with you. But here's my problem: is this a flash in the pan, or is this Nick Sirianni finally, coming to its end and realizing that he needs to do stuff like this? You know what I mean? I feel like the reason why we blew Detroit out is because they weren't expecting us to run heavy like that, and maybe Nick Sirianni goes back to the table and we see us revert right back to where we were. You know what I mean? There's that fear. You know what I'm saying?
There's that fear, but I look, we didn't see a lot of the RPOs. We didn't see a lot of the bubble screens.
No,
we saw a completely different offensive game plan which worked effectively. Yeah. And the one thing that we kept on hearing all offseason is that Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, they feel the only way to win it in the NFL is by the passing the football, and that they want a high-scoring offense by throwing the football.
Well, they got a high-scoring offense by running the football.
Exactly.
So fuck you, Jeff Lurie. I'm joking.
So I get it. Look, again, Detroit Lions, a winless football team. They're a team that's fought hard, but they are definitely not up to par with the rest of the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nick Sirianni can bounce back from this and build that momentum for his team moving forward against some of this better competition, and try not to rely on Jalen Hurts. We've been saying for weeks, you cannot make Jalen Hurts the focal point of this offense because he will crumble under the pressure.
He's not elite.
He hasn't. Well, at least not yet.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's ever.
I don't think he is either, but. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
He'll be elite the minute we get rid of him.
And that's sort of my question to you about this. I understand Halloween's a little bit past, but is this Eagles team? We're now 3-5, and miraculously, we're only one game out of the final wild card spot for the playoffs. For how bad we have played this year, and look, playoffs. This is a team, and the schedule, the tough part of our schedule. It's pretty much over.
Right. The rest of it is
the rest of it is
winnable games.
Look, this week against the Chargers, I'm not doubting that the Chargers are a good football team, but they do have a slumping quarterback. Yeah. They have a banged up defense, which they announced today that both their outside corners are out.
Nice.
We have the Jets in a couple weeks, not this week, but following week. Against the Denver Broncos is the final game where the Eagles actually have to get on a plane. Nice. So the rest of the stretch of the season are all games either at home or they take a bus.
Down the East Coast.
Yeah, they take a bus. So look, is this the focal point, or is this team moving forward? Is this the team that we're going to see down the stretch, or are they is Nick Sirianni tricking us and this was just a flash in the pan for 1 week, and they're not as good as we think they are?
Unfortunately, I think they're a flash in the pan. I think Nick Sirianni, especially with the two corners being out, it's going to be a pass heavy versus the Chargers. Nick Sirianni, he talks about how he's good at game planning with the people he has, and part of me thinks like, well, if that's the case, then why are we passing so much with Jalen Hurts? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't we running the ball more? So when we saw this game, it was almost like an answer to the fans. Like, here we are. Here's our run heavy game, especially the way we ran it and the way we won the game. I think it's a flash in the pan. I feel in my heart, and I'm hoping he proves me wrong, but Nick Sirianni will revert back to the RPO, back to the bubble screens, and back to the deep passes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I just can't see I can't see this coach just committing to the run. I don't even know if he's allowed to commit to the run. Who knows? He might have got reamed out 44-6, and he probably went right up to Jeffrey Lurie's office and got reamed out for it. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing this team committing to the run the way we would like them to.
I would tend to agree with you, but I kind of feel now with Miles Sanders out, that they still are doing that running back by committee type of approach.
And
I do feel they are going to address the run game a lot more in the coming weeks than we have seen through the first half of the season. You look at last week's numbers. Minus Jalen Hurts is 7 carries for 71 yards. Boston Scott, 12 carries, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Howard, 12 carries, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell, 13 carries for 27 yards. He wasn't as efficient, but the fact that we saw Jalen Hurts under center, that was the critical part of the offensive game plan that we saw a week ago, because that does not make your offense too predictable. When you're sitting back in shotgun, teams are picking up tape and watching tape. People and teams and defensive coordinators are picking up your tendencies on what you do, and the Eagles are becoming way too stale and way too predictable.
Absolutely.
So the fact that they're under center last week, and you saw more runs in between the tackles, and you saw these guys hit the holes,
in motion,
and you saw the fact that you're able to go under center and run the ball. You saw the efficiency of the offensive line.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because this offensive line is a better run offensive line than a pass.
You saw
protection.
Landon Dickerson be a bulldozer opening those holes.
Exact fucking mundo. So you gotta work with what you got, and if your offensive line can bully defensive fronts the way they did last week, then you stick to the program until it don't work. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what Nick Sirianni has game plan for the next game. I'm hoping they stick to it. And Jordan Howard, man. Jordan Howard, I don't think we give Jordan Howard enough credit. This guy's on practice. He's in a practice squad. Like, this guy can start for a team somewhere, man. This guy's young. He's a veteran who's been there, a patient runner, and man, when he bulldozes people, you feel it at home.
Yeah,
and that's what we really need. We need to start bullying these defensive fronts. And if Nick Sirianni wants to just pass, you're right. And if you're in shotgun, you're going to be predictable. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what he conjures up with whatever game plan he's got going on. Gannon looked like he changed his tempo a little bit too, which was great to see.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next point. We're more focused on the offense side of the football, because look, in the NFL, the offense is the flashy. Is flashy. You want to score points, especially that's how you win football games.
Yeah.
But defensively, the fact that they were able to keep the Detroit Lions scoreless through 3 quarters, they gave up 6 points in the 4th quarter.
Garbage time.
Garbage time. And I agree. You saw more of an aggressive side of Jonathan Gannon's scheme. You saw more of those different blitz packages. Yeah. You saw a dime defense.
What?
Exactly.
Playoffs.
A couple weeks ago, we heard about Jonathan Gannon from his own mouth.
Yeah.
Saying that, look, I don't have a dime defense in my playbook, which basically told us and told the fan base that he does not feel he has the right personnel to run that type of scheme. And that's why when you saw Tyreek Hill in one man-to-man, one-on-one coverage with a linebacker and got exploded.
Yeah, that's why.
So, look, this week, a completely better performance. They held the Detroit Lions on the ground to 18 carries, 57 yards, which a lot of that is because the Eagles jumped out to a very large lead very early, which took away the run game and the ability for them to run.
Yep.
You saw a bunch of different blitz packages from Jonathan Gannon. You saw them get after the quarterback. Milton Williams, look, this kid is going to be a stud.
Yeah, he is.
I'll say he had 4 tackles, 1 for a sack, 2 tackles for loss, a quarterback hit. They rattled Jared Goff for 12 quarterback hits in the game. They had 6 sacks in the game.
Yeah.
Look.
Does that mean our defensive line is that great, or does it mean their offensive line is that bad, though?
I think it's a little bit of both, and I feel that the fact that Jonathan Gannon is not relying on his front 4 like we saw with Jim Schwartz. The fact that he's bringing pressure, he's designing different type of blitz packages, causing havoc for the protection up front for the opposing team's offensive line, causing havoc for the starting quarterback trying to see where the blitzes are coming from.
Yep. He's confusing the offense.
Absolutely.
That's what he's supposed to fucking do, though. That's what you know what I mean?
Well, it's what he's supposed to do. That's something we didn't see through the first half of the season.
You think it was because he thought he didn't have the personnel, or was it the linebacking core wasn't right? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Look, it was definitely an impressive performance. This is something hopefully they can build upon. And look, we're 3-5, not out of it yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Soon.
Look, they have the Los Angeles Chargers this coming week, but moving forward, going this past week, the NFL trade deadline has come and passed. One Eagle who we thought might have been on the move is still a Philadelphia Eagle, and that is the man that Peanut is wearing, Fletcher Cox. Apparently, according to reports, there was a lot of interest around the league for Fletcher Cox's services, but ultimately he is still here in Philadelphia. He did tweet and post on Instagram, "Philadelphia forever," before it was announced that he was sticking around. So some people felt it could have went either way.
It was his way of saying goodbye.
It could have been a way of saying goodbye. He's always going to be an Eagle. He's loved Philly. Or that they are keeping him and he's going to be in Philadelphia through the rest of his career, which is still tend to be seen. But the big issue when it came to this contract, or that came to this deal, is that contract.
I'm sure he's going to restructure eventually. Hopefully.
He's already restructured 4 different fucking times.
He's going to have to restructure.
No,
again,
he's not.
Man. You watch.
They are stuck with him.
For life?
Not for life.
No,
for at least the next couple of years. And then if they want to eat that dead money, then okay. You can't keep on pushing it down the fucking line.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Then we're in cap hell like we were this past offseason.
This is the problem. That's why we're gonna be in cap hell. But who's gonna take over Fletcher Cox's duties? Who besides Hargrave?
Milton Williams has shown
the rookie. You're gonna trust a rookie.
Not this year.
Okay.
I'm talking about possibly after this offseason or maybe after next year.
Now, mind you, I think he's a beast, but you're gonna need Cox for at least.
Cox
for at least.
Milton Williams has shown that he can be a more productive defensive tackle than Fletcher Cox is right now at his point of his career.
So you would take Milton Williams over Cox right now?
Probably.
Really? I wouldn't. Not yet.
Fletcher Cox.
You watched a couple games and now you're already.
A couple games. Milton Williams has been a freak. You've been hearing his name every single week. What have you heard from Fletcher Cox? He's the one 2 weeks ago couldn't take the criticism that he wasn't making plays in the screen game. And
he's not paid to do that, though.
Fuck him. He's paid to make plays. Whether it's against the pass or against the run, he's there to make plays.
He's there
and he hasn't done that this fucking season. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's there to make plays. If that was the case, if he's a what's the word I'm looking for? If he only could do one thing, they wouldn't give him that contract.
Right.
And he's supposed to be the leader. As a leader, you're supposed to be in there for this team and lead by example, and not go out and say, "I only have one job to do." No, you have multiple jobs to do. I love Fletcher.
I wish one of these days we got to get like a real NFL player like on the screen with us, and I bet you wouldn't be talking like that to Fletcher Cox.
Oh, I would.
Listen, look, I'm a Fletcher Cox fan. Look, has he had the greatest couple years? Not really.
He's been a major disappointment for the amount of money we are paying him.
We are paying him handsomely, but he is a leader in that locker room, though. When it comes, there's certain intangibles with certain players that you know what I mean, that other players don't have. And Fletcher Cox, he commands that defensive front. You know what I'm saying? So you need leaders, and so I think that's what they saw in this, and that's why they weren't willing to trade him yet. You know what I mean?
No, I think they're willing to trade him
for the right price.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
No team was going to give the Eagles ample compensation for a guy that at his age, at this stage in his career, with that type of contract.
Yeah.
Which is why Odell Beckham was not traded from the Cleveland Browns. It was ended up released.
Yeah, released. Yeah. Do you think we should go after him?
No. Look, Odell is a tremendous talent.
Yeah.
But for the Eagles to put a waiver wire, you have to pick up that contract for a guy that might not be here after this year or two.
That's true.
And if he does make it past waivers, he ain't coming to Philadelphia.
Nah.
No, he wants to go to a winner. At this stage in his career, he wants to try to win a championship.
Right.
So he's going to go to the best situation for him.
Tampa Bay.
That he have an opportunity to win.
But playing Tampa Bay, you watch.
But speaking of other deals around the NFL, the Eagles did make a trade before the trade deadline by trading, sending a 2022 sixth-round pick to the Denver Broncos for cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr. Vincent was a seventh-round pick of the Broncos in 2021. He made the Broncos 53-man roster, but has not yet played a snap in the NFL. The Eagles have acquired 6 cornerbacks since the 2021 NFL draft.
And not one of them are great.
Darius Slay.
Oh, Slay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not saying just by trade, just acquiring them.
Got you.
This is what Vincent scouting report, according to NFL.com. A slot corner with average size but exceptional speed and athleticism. He could see his draft stock rise given his workout potential. Vincent has the hips, feet, and burst to stay tight with routes as a pro, but only if he shows marked improvement with pattern recognition and his coverage technique. He's played and practiced against NFL caliber competition and brings a resume full of experience against quality competition.
Okay.
His best football could be ahead of him, but he needs to fully transition from athlete to cornerback for that to happen.
He also did a lot of punt return, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he brings the punt return. He has a tremendous speed. He ran a 4.39 at LSU's pro day. Like it said, mainly a slot corner. Has also short, light, and he's also short, light, and has short arms. So he's not the prototypical cornerback. He's a guy that provides a little bit of a depth piece.
Right.
He's a guy that can play the slot if Vontae Maddox gets hurt.
Right.
So definitely, I'm not opposed to it. Look, you can't build this roster
for a 6th-round pick
on third day selections, and the Eagles have an abundance of third day selections over the next couple of years drafts. So look, maybe get a depth piece, get a quality player, someone that might be able to surprise you down the line.
Diamond in the rough.
Hey, you never know. So it's not someone that's going to break the bank, or in my opinion, that's going to catapult you to a championship team or a playoff team. Who knows? He might not even be an active day. He might be a game day scratch most of this time.
He might be a special teams guy. Who knows? We don't know. You know what I mean?
We don't. But
we'll
it'll give him some time to adjust. But yeah, exactly. We'll see. Nothing catastrophic, but a solid addition, in my opinion.
Solid, yeah.
For the future, because
Okay.
Remember, this is a team that we keep on bringing up. That eventually they're going to have to completely revamp most of this defense.
Correct.
You have Darius Slay's probably going to be here the next couple of years. He's only 28, I think 28 years old.
Yeah.
He's definitely your cornerstone of that second
defensive backfield.
Yeah, that secondary.
Yep.
Steven Nelson, he's played well, but on a 1-year deal. Do you really see him coming back?
No.
Probably not. Avonte Maddox, same position. He's played well at slot, but you can start in competition with this kid or someone else on the roster.
Yeah.
We also remember they drafted Zach McPherson this past year. If he can stay healthy, he might be able to be productive for you.
Yeah, true.
Rodney McLeod, he's finally coming back from injury, making some plays.
I was gonna say he's looking all right, man.
But at 30+ years old,
yeah,
you need to know what you have with Kayvon Wallace. Kayvon Wallace is getting on the field a little bit, but
look, frustrating.
We're going to have to completely revamp this whole entire secondary.
Yeah,
Anthony Harris came here on a 1-year deal. He's hurt. He is out this week. Big, crucial loss for the Eagles. So I believe between Marcus Epps and Kayvon Wallace for that starting spot.
Marcus Epps has been playing solid too. I mean, he's had his ups and downs, but
he's playing well.
He's playing okay.
But and then you look at that defensive front. We keep on bringing up Fletcher Cox, but with that contract, we don't know how you're going to be able to move on from him.
Yeah.
Derek Barnett hasn't impressed. He's probably gone.
He's gone. Sweat.
Brandon Graham getting injured was very unfortunate at his age.
He might have played his last snap.
Played his last snap for the Eagles. I think he's going to try to go. He's going to try to go somewhere.
I'm sure.
Maybe to Detroit since he's from Michigan. Well, no, he's from Michigan.
Go to Detroit. That's where dreams go to die.
Pretty much,
man. But Josh Sweat looks promising. Milton Williams looks promising. We're just not at that point. I think now. I don't think we're right at the point where we can get rid of people like Cox and these veteran leaders. Not yet. These guys are young. They need look at the wide receiver room. Who's their leader? Ward.
I don't even see him as a leader. He's not even.
You know what I'm saying?
On the field.
Yeah, exactly. Like these young guys need veteran leadership to play on and off the field. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what the coaching staff is for. You expect the coaching staff to be those leaders. You expect them to stir these guys straight,
right?
To make sure that they're going out there and playing the best of their ability. But I get it. You still want that guy in the locker room, a guy that you can go to.
Yep.
Within your squad, if you have an issue or have a problem, or a guy that hey, he's working out, he's pushing himself. I need to push myself just to be like him.
Exactly.
So I get that. But moving on, big game this week for the Philadelphia Eagles. 3-5, hosting the Los Angeles Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Nick Bosa. Sorry. Yeah, no, is it Joey Bosa?
No.
One of the Bosas.
Bosa.
Bozas, the Berwins. Look,
Boozer.
look. Very, very big game this coming week for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Huge game. This is a temperature gauge game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If last week, I'm sorry, excuse me. If last week was like
Joey
a
Bosa.
like a Joey Bosa. If last week was like one of those fluky, you just beat someone shitty games. Well, here we have the talent level is a little bit better than last week. So
a little bit. Look, the Chargers are 4-3.
Hot,
they're starting to snowball a little bit. Look,
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks they had a bye in there, I believe.
Mhm.
But look, they struggled. Justin Herbert struggled against Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
He didn't play too well against the Baltimore Ravens. Which, granted, the Baltimore Ravens is a solid football team.
Yeah, they are.
New England Patriots, yeah, they're in transition, moving on from Tom Brady, trying to figure out their identity, and they're still in that rebuild mode a little bit, but they're still a decent football team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But definitely this week, the Eagles are going to have their hands full. Like I brought up, Justin Herbert, this coming season, he's played well for the most part the first couple of weeks. He's passed for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns versus 2 interceptions last week. Has 2 touchdown passes in 4 of his last 5 games, and has 6 touchdowns versus 2 INTs for 900 or for a QB rating of 91.9 in 3 road games this season. So he plays well on the road. He's aiming for his 3rd in a row versus the NFC East with 225 passing yards. And Austin Eckler, last week we had to worry about DeAndre Swift. Austin Eckler is a whole new animal.
Yep.
For Jonathan Gannon, I kind of feel he has to be your focal point on trying to shut down
the run.
This Chargers offense. You shut him down. You put Justin Herbert in 2nd, 3rd and longs. Put the pressure in his hands. Bring blitz packages. Get pressure on Herbert and force him to throw erratic throws or make bad decisions with the football.
I agree.
Because I don't know how this Eagles defense is going to be able to control Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Jared Cook.
Yeah.
They have an abundance of weapons at their disposal, maybe besides the Dallas Cowboys, and maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't need to throw the football to beat us.
No.
This is probably the toughest test for this Eagles secondary, maybe besides Dallas, this season that they've seen so far. So, Pina, I want to get your thoughts. What do the Eagles need to do this coming week to pull off a victory?
Well, they stick to the script. I think I said it last week too. Like, just stick to the script. Like, do what works. Like, if the RPO isn't working, scrap the RPO. If the running game is working, you stick to the run. If by chance Hurts comes out and the passing game with the 2 cornerbacks being out, if the passing game is working, then you throw the ball. Just do what works. Stick to the script. Trust your players. Trust your playmakers. And honest to God, I swear to God, if the RPO doesn't work, if the bubble screens aren't working, then scrap the fucking thing. They got your number. Nick Sirianni needs to trust his players, trust his playmakers, and on the defensive side, you're right. We got to stop the run, because the minute we don't stop that run, that's when everything opens up. So if Nick Sirianni sticks to the script by basically sticking to the thing that works, I think we'll be okay. But I don't see that happening. What do you think?
Look, I feel defensively it's going to be a struggle, but offensively, if we can, like you said, we need to have those in-game adjustments. We can't just continue to stick to one style of offense and stick to one similar game plan if it doesn't work.
I fucking agree.
You need to find those weaknesses in your opponents to take advantage of.
Yeah.
If they're focusing on you doing the RPO, throw a deep ball down the field. Show them that you can make plays more than just the RPO or the bubble screens. When you become too predictable, it's doomed for disaster.
Yeah,
and
doomed for disaster.
And this is a Chargers defense that has not played well this season, and they were without quite a bit of players this coming week. Like I said, they're without both their outside corners with Asante Samuel Jr. and I forget the other gentleman's name. They're very banged up.
Right.
This is also a defense that's giving up over 25 points a game.
Shit.
So we saw the Eagles put up 44 last week against a bad defense. I kind of expect, hopefully, if they do not kick themselves in the foot with penalties and turnovers, if they play a flawless football game, I feel this is a good matchup for the Eagles offense and for Jalen Hurts to put up some points, control that clock, keep them off the field. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Especially last week against a bad team like the Detroit Lions, I believe we dominated the time of possession.
And anyone that dominates the time of possession has a really good chance of winning the game.
Yeah, the three things that typically, if you win, you most likely win the football game. That's time of possession, penalties, and the turnover battle.
Yeah.
So if you usually win those categories, 9 times out of 10, you're probably winning football games.
Facts. And you know what? You're right. The penalties and the turnovers. We didn't have. I don't think we had one turnover last week.
I don't think we had one turnover last week, and penalty wise, we were pretty disciplined the last few weeks.
Yeah. So, and by the way, you'll be at this game, right?
Yep.
So all you birds, beers, and bullshit fans, go down and see Jeffrey. We'll release what seat he'll be in, but
you won't be able to get to him.
But I think like mistake-free football and time of possession, it gives you a big leg up in this NFL season.
And like you brought up before, I don't want Nick Sirianni, just because they're without their 2 top corners, that they're just going to pass. Mm-hmm. But one thing I do want them to do, I want to get Devontae Smith more involved in this offense.
I agree with you on that.
This was going to this season. We were all up in arms about Devontae Smith, feeling that he's the answer to our problems when we finally, hopefully, got a number 1 wide receiver for our franchise for the future.
But we don't have the franchise quarterback.
We don't have the franchise quarterback, but look at Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson was a Hall of Fame wide receiver with shitty quarterback play until he got Matthew Stafford.
Until he got I got you. That's because they gave him the ball. They gave him the ball all the time because the guys he was a fucking freak of nature.
He was a dude. I'm not trying to compare
anyone that's called fucking Megatron. There's a fucking problem.
I'm not trying to compare. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to compare.
If he's Megatron and this guy's Bumblebee,
I'm not trying to compare Calvin Johnson to Devontae Smith. All I'm saying is, just because you have bad quarterback play doesn't mean wide receivers can't make plays in this league.
Listen, I agree. But the guy's getting open. Devontae Smith is a guy that gets open all the time. The problem with him is the timing of. I mean, rarely do you see. I mean, you do see him get jammed every once in a while, but rarely he gets off the line of scrimmage. The guy gets open.
Oh, he gets. I'm not saying that. I'm saying more of the game plan.
I got you.
I kind of feel there's certain times Jalen Hurts is focusing on him, which is why. The opposing defenses are shutting him out. Yeah. Because Jalen Hurts has shown, which last week he did a little bit better in limit passing plays, but he's always a guy that focuses on his main route. Yeah. He's not going through his progressions.
He's like me on Madden.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. I get one read and that's it.
And I want to see Jalen Hurts go through the progressions a little bit more and try to find that mismatch for Devontae Smith. Because since week 1, I think he only has like 1 touchdown through like 5 or 6 games, however many he's been able to play. Yeah. He's dropping passes left and right, which granted, a lot of that.
Some of them are thrown behind.
Exactly. I was going to say, some of that is the quarterback play.
Yeah, right.
But
I'm not giving it. There's no excuse.
There's no excuse. If it touches
your hands, I get it. But what I'm saying is, if he had better quarterback play, I think he would be having a stellar year. I think rookie of the year kind of year.
He's still having a decent year, and I understand why the fan base is getting upset because we're seeing Jamar Chase, who, remember, got picked before Devontae Smith.
Exactly.
So
he wasn't available.
He wasn't going to be available, so we don't know what the Eagles would have done.
I think they should be mad about Micah Parsons.
Well, yeah,
that's what we should be mad about.
But when you're trying to compare the rest of the wide receivers in this draft, and you see Jamar Chase lighting it up, you have to remember again, he has a franchise quarterback with Joe Burrow. We do not know what we have with Jalen Hurts at this moment, but I still want to see more from Devontae Smith. This is the game that we should expect a huge, monstrous game from Devontae Smith if they give him the opportunity. They're without their top 2 cornerbacks that we brought before.
He should be able to light it up.
He should be destroying them if Jalen Hurts can throw in the football effectively.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. Jalen Hurts does not have a deep ball. Like, for some reason, it just floats in the air. It's behind or whatever. This offense, this quarterback is not tailored to this wide receiver. So,
well, also the problem is it was a stat brought up this past week by my boy Brandon Gowton from Bleeding Green Nation.
Shout out Bleeding Green.
There's I forget who brought. I think it might have been Pro Football Focus accumulated these stats, but Jalen Hurts is the 34th slowest quarterback to release the football. As far as releasing the football, I think he's like 3.24 seconds. Yeah. Now in the NFL, there's all these next-gen stats that they break down how quickly quarterbacks are throwing the football and how much time they have and this and that. So
analytics, brother.
Jalen Hurts needs to figure out ways, and this is part of Sirianni and the offense, that he needs, if he's going to throw the football, he needs to find plays that better equips his quarterback skill set, because Jalen Hurts has shown that when he does have time to throw the football, he hangs on to it too much. Yeah. And in this offense, if you were trying to get a lot of these the screen game going, if you want these slants to work, you need quick releases from your quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. I see, and that's what brings me back to what I was saying. It's look, I think Jalen relies on his feet too much as opposed to relying on his head and his arm.
I agree.
The minute the play breaks down, instead of like going through progressions, he goes to what he knows, which is I'm going to take off or I'm going to boot it out.
There's times where he boots it out, he makes some plays on the run, but one thing we have not seen a lot of Jalen Hurts to do, and in this league, I'm a true believer of this. The NFL, the only way to win Super Bowls is with pocket passing quarterbacks. I'm not saying guys can't be mobile. I can't say they can't extend plays. But when's the last time we have seen Jalen Hurts avoid pressure, step up in the pocket, and deliver a efficient throw, a precision pass to one of his wide receivers that's not like a 2-yard dump off?
Put it this way, Tom Brady, probably one of the slowest quarterbacks in the fucking world, right?
Probably.
But in the pocket, the guy moves like it's chess. You know what I'm saying? Like he moves up, he moves over. Jalen Hurts has fight or flight. So the minute things start breaking down, instead of Jalen Hurts moving around in the pocket, he escapes the pocket. Yep. And at that point, the play's already broken down. Wide receivers don't know what's going on. So I don't know.
And especially with the RPOs, the blocking scheme is completely different for the offensive line. Yep. That's why the Eagles have been getting called as much as they have for illegal man downfield, because the offensive line, they don't know. Mm-hmm. They think it's a run play because that's the one thing. You need quick decision making from your quarterback. If you're not going to hand it off, you need to throw it quickly or run quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I agree. Jalen Hurts, he played better last week, and that's why I feel
he played better. He didn't really do much, though.
Well, that's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll bring it up again. Sirianni cannot have Jalen Hurts the focal point of your offense, which is sad, and that's
he's the quarterback,
and that's the thing that is disturbing as an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
You want your quarterback to be that leader, which I'm not saying Jalen Hurts ain't a leader, but you want your quarterback to take over the game. You want to be able to rely on him. Yeah. And the fact that the head coach can't rely on the quarterback and take the football essentially out of his hands and rely on the run game, which it worked. This ain't the late 2000s. This ain't early 2000s. This ain't the late 1990s. You need a quarterback to win in the National Football League. This ain't the NFL where Trent Dilfer can win you a Super Bowl. This ain't the NFL where Brad Johnson can win you a Super Bowl.
Or Nick Foles.
Nick Foles is a little bit different story.
I'm just fucking with you.
I know. I agree. I agree. Look, Nick Foles has been a journeyman pretty much his whole career, but he at least somewhat showed you that he can make some plays and he can play quarterback a little bit in this league, where I feel the other two weren't like.
He waited for the one game that mattered to lighten it up. So
exactly.
Shout out Nick Foles. Love you.
But look, I know we're beating a dead horse, but until the decision is made and until something comes up, we don't know Jalen Hurts is your quarterback, and again, we're getting those reports and speculation from highly respected reporters like Chris Mortensen and Adam Schefter that they feel that Russell Wilson is going to be very high on the Eagles' priority list next offseason. He did not get traded this past trade deadline. Yeah, and for everyone that wants the Eagles to bomb out and get a higher draft pick,
I'd rather have Wilson if we got, but he ain't coming here.
Well, that was going to be my point.
Yeah, he can come here.
Well, he's not going to come here if we're a dumpster fire. If we somehow magically find our way into the playoffs as a wild card team, and with the lack of quarterback play, if Jalen Hurts doesn't show you and the organization that he is the guy, that might just be enough to get Russell Wilson to void his no trade clause and maybe come to the city of Philadelphia, and maybe we can give away one of our late first round picks
for Wilson?
For Russell Wilson. I rather.
I mean, in a perfect world, yeah, that would be great. Trust me.
Because look, in his eyes,
that shit ain't happening, sir.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
All right, listen, I would take that in the heart.
And then
I'd give him 2 first-round picks for that.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would for Russell Wilson.
I wouldn't go that far. Russell Wilson, between Rodgers and Russell.
I don't want Rodgers. He seems like a fucking weirdo.
Rodgers is the better quarterback, in my opinion. But as far as where this team is,
right,
Russell Wilson fits the plan a far more
strong
than
arm.
Aaron Rodgers, because well, not just that. I'm just talking about as far as age and where this organization is.
Right.
You have to remember, Tom Brady's or Aaron Rodgers is 5 years older than Russell Wilson at this point, and everyone's assuming that Aaron Rodgers is going to be similar to Drew Brees and Tom Brady and playing
because of the years he sat
and playing to his 40s and this and that.
He looks like he's 50.
There's no guarantee that's Aaron Rodgers is playing at an extremely high level, and he's a moron. I'm not going to get into politics, but the whole COVID thing, he's missing the biggest game of the year so far against the Kansas City Chiefs. Make better decisions, bro.
Hey, discount double check, man. He's the fucking champs, huh?
But look, Russell Wilson, if somehow we can get into the playoffs in his eyes, look, maybe they're not a dumpster fire. Maybe I can be the guy that take this team to the next level. We get a quarterback and they have some pieces in place. Maybe they believe in Nick Sirianni to be the head coach. Maybe the one thing they're missing is the quarterback.
I think so.
And look, I'm not. In my opinion, I would like it either way. High first round pick. The only problem is, again, there's not a quality quarterback in this upcoming draft where we're going to be selecting. So once again, we'll have to maybe draft a second or third rounder to sit on the bench, maybe develop, and cause some quarterback controversy if Jalen Hurts ain't the answer or after a year or two, which I do not want to happen. I don't want this continuing cycle of going through quarterback. Yeah, looking for that quarterback and trying to figure out who's our guy and wasting the prime of young talent that we're going to be getting in this year's draft or this past year's draft and draft to come.
I agree. Listen, that would be great. But why does Russell Wilson want to leave the Seattle Seahawks in the first place?
Well, we don't know.
So it was never been disclosed.
He's never officially said he wants out. It's just been reports that he's been disgruntled, that they haven't been able to build and put weapons around him. Okay. He openly hasn't come out and requested a trade. But apparently behind enemy lines, through his agent and things like that, there's been known that he's a little bit disgruntled with the organization.
Okay. All right. Hey, look, who's DK Metcalf still play for that team?
Yep.
Is he a weapon? Is he better than our wide receivers? Would you trade any of
I think he was worried, building the offensive line.
Oh, gotcha.
Running back.
Gotcha.
He wants as many weapons at his disposal. I think he felt that they weren't going in the right direction, and they didn't ask his input. That was one thing. As a franchise quarterback, these guys want input on what this organization does, and if they believe in him and want him on their team, he felt hurt. And I kind of feel where he was getting at.
He needs to get over it.
But moving on to Sunday's game, Eagles Chargers, big game, 3-5 against the 4-3 Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers coming on the road, 4:05 start. Peanut, I want your prediction and what you think is going to happen in this game.
This is a lock. We are going to Luton on playing. Actually, you know, it's a tale of two teams. If Nick Sirianni comes out and he does exactly like what he did last week, and I'm not saying just run the ball. I'm not saying like continuously run the ball, don't pass the ball, blah, 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 blah. If Nick Sirianni mixes the run with the pass, the quarterback under center, we win this game thoroughly, 30-21. If we get back to that same hoopla that he was doing before, I see us losing the game. There's no identity to this team yet, and what scares me the most is I feel like these guys just should do what works, and if they do that, they not single-handedly, but they handily win this game. And if they don't, they're just going to go right back into the same thing where we're behind in the fourth quarter and we're throwing bombs and stuff like that. So we'll see. I predict the win if the big if we run the ball, if Hurts is under center, if we put guys in motion. And I think the defense is going to come to play. I think the defense is it's a different field defense right now. I feel like there's a little more attitude, a little more chip on their shoulder kind of play. So I think the defense is going to come to play. I think the offense, if they stick to the script, will win this game. If not, I got a bag ready. Trust me. It's going on my head.
So what's your official prediction?
My official prediction, Eagles win 30-21.
Okay. I can definitely see that, and you bring up all the good, all those great points. Like, look, it's similar to last week. This is a winnable football game for the Eagles, but is it going to be easy? No chance in hell.
No.
No matter how banged up or how bad this team has played the Chargers over the past few weeks,
especially at home,
there's still a quality They still have a quality quarterback with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
They have a lot of weapons at his disposal to really cause some problems for our defense, and it's going to come down to the intangibles and coaching. That's really I understand we're saying the same thing every week, but Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon have to have a similar and successful game plan that we saw a week ago against the inferior Detroit Lions for them to have any chance.
Yeah.
Because, look, we've seen the bad with the Eagles, but we have also seen the good with the Eagles. And like you brought up before, there's really no identity with this team. We don't know what to expect.
Nope.
Last week, we didn't expect them to run as often as they did and take the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands. This week now, without them their outside corners, we might see Jalen Hurts back to throwing 40 times a game.
Yeah.
But look, I feel they have to get back to that ground and pound game, establish the run early, build a foundation for this team, and show that we can be a ground and pound rush first offense and a rush first team that the step to pass, because that opens things up with the play action. That opens things up for the deep ball. That opens the big plays up. We saw all those years with Donovan and Andy and Deshaun Jackson, with Brian Westbrook and LaShawn McCoy back there. Yes, you want to keep your opponents honest. You want to show them that you're that you can run the football, and then it opens things up down the football field. You don't want these guys just standing back playing in coverage you're going to throw. We don't want these guys just playing up at the line of scrimmage expecting you to run. You need a balanced offensive attack.
You want them on their toes.
Exactly.
You don't want to.
I want offensively. I want to see a balanced offensive attack. I want to see some mixture of the run and pass. I don't want just pass. I don't want run. I want whoever's going to work effectively. I want them to exploit their mismatches that we have been seeing, that we've been hearing from Nick Sirianni all season long. That's what he wants to do, or that's what he game plans for.
Fertilize the goddamn flowers.
And Jonathan Gannon, I want to see more of those blitzes. I want to see that pressure. I want to be rattling and having Justin Herbert on his back consistently all game long.
Word.
Keep him rattled. That's the one big pivotal thing of getting a quarterback's head, is getting pressure and knocking him around like a rag doll.
Make him see ghosts.
But I feel it's going to be tough.
What's your final?
I do have the Eagles winning. I feel they're going to build upon that momentum. I feel they're going to hopefully get things rolling, and they finally found that little bit of a groove on both sides of the football to build upon, going to a game that they have a chance to win. This ain't the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This ain't the Kansas City Chiefs. This ain't the Dallas Cowboys where we're going into and like, look, the Eagles had to play a flawless football game for them to win. Where this game, I feel they can make all the mistakes and still have chances to win. This ain't an NFL elite caliber football team with the Chargers. Are they a good football team?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel the Eagles can put up some points. I feel that Jalen Hurts and the offense is building some confidence. I have the Eagles winning this one. I still think it's going to be a little bit close. I have the Eagles winning 28-20. I feel it's going to be about a touchdown game here and there, give or take.
I agree.
And that the Eagles do win, get their first win at home this season.
Hopefully.
And also, I'm picking them to win because I'm there.
He's there.
So they better freaking win.
We got to get some footage of you so we can put it before the show next week, especially if they win.
Fuck no. But, Pina, any final thoughts before we get out here on another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS?
Final thoughts. Not really. You know what? Let's pay some bills. Oh, I do have a final thought. We were talking about, not final thought, but an extension to the thought that we were talking about. We were talking earlier. You wouldn't trade a high first round pick for Russell Wilson. You said, correct? Well, why wouldn't you do that? If he's going to be the answer to your quarterback problem for the next at least 5 years, why wouldn't you do that?
We don't know if he's going to be the answer in the next 5 years.
You don't think Russell Wilson is? Oh, anyways, you know what? Maybe that's the topic of a discussion for another show.
Maybe.
Anyways, no final thoughts. We'll pay some bills and good luck. He's going to be in Philly. Please, if you see him down there, take some pictures, especially if we're winning, because I'm at losing.
Yeah, they probably will. But yes, I'd like to thank our sponsors real quick. Again, thank you for everyone for tuning in for another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS. Again, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing, leave those comments, give us those thumbs up, give us those thumbs down. Let us know what you think of the show.
We suck.
Let us know what you think of what we're saying. Do you agree, disagree? We love hearing our listener feedback. And again, thank you to everyone that tunes into this program. We really greatly appreciate it. But we also like to thank our sponsor at Statement Game, fun free twist on fantasy sports. You can visit them at statementgames.com. Also, our referral link will be in the description of this episode. So if you want to give us a little help, hit the referral link. It is free. You can win some gift cards, a lot of fun sports games of football, basketball, baseball. Well, baseball's over, but pretty much any sport, they have tons of games for you to play as far as fantasy sports on their outlets. So make sure to check them out. I'd like to also thank our friends at oddsjam.com using their arbitrage calculator to help you never lose money again. Make sure to check them out at oddsjam.com. You can check them out again in the referral link in the episode, so make sure to check them out. And again, if you or someone you know has a gambling addiction, make sure you get help and call 1-800-GAMBLER today. I'd like to thank our friends at 99jersey.com. You can use our code AETBirds20 for 20% discount at checkout. Again, 99jersey.com for some kick-ass jerseys of your favorite sports stars and sports movie characters as well. Again, 99jersey.com. Like also thank our friends at Manscaped. You can use our code AETBirds for 20% off and free shipping at checkout at manscaped.com. Again, AETBirds for 20% off and free shipping. And again, help support us by support us by buying our merchandise, helping our sponsors. Again, supporting our sponsors helps us in the long run. So again, thank you for everyone that does that. You can get all our gear, AT Birds gear. You get AT Sports Network gear. You get Birds, Beers, and BS gear, and plenty of other gear from hats to shirts, koozies, whatever it may be, at atsportsnetwork.com/shop. I was wearing one of our original AT Bird shirts here today. So again, atsportsnetwork.com/shop. Also, please make sure you're checking out our website, atsportsnetwork.com. Tons of great content from all our writers on Philadelphia sports and more, college sports and all of that. Also, there's 2 exclusive deals on the website at this moment. Up at the top, there's some banner created by my wonderful wife, Jennifer. You can bet $5 to win $200 on this weekend's UFC 268 fight.
Oh, we watch.
So, yeah, you bet $5 if you're a new customer to that program. You bet $5. If your fight wins, you win $200 in credits. Also, you bet $5 to win $100, I believe, for between the Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs game. So again, it is all on exclusively on our website at atsportsnetwork.com. And we also like to thank our friends of the show and our sponsors of Birds, Beers, and BS. Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant. Again, they're located off Iroquois Trail in Allentown, off in the Iroquois or the Old Town Shopping Center. They do pickup or delivery. They're open Monday through Saturday. You can visit them at vinnyspizzapa.com. You can also order at 610-395-2300. Again, 610-395-2300. Tell Vinny and Caesar that the Birds, Beers, and BS crew sent you over. They'll treat you like family. Some delicious food there, so make sure to check them out.
What up, Caesar?
So, again, thank you for everyone for tuning in. Again, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button on the YouTube YouTube channel. We're trying to build our following up a little bit. So, if you or someone you know is on YouTube or has a YouTube account, hell, if you don't, just create one. Give us a subscribe. We're trying to build those likes up to try to help the network, help the AT Sports Network, and help us. So, it's easy. It's free. It takes 5 minutes to set up, and it takes a second to hit like.
Help us, goddammit.
So pretty much. But you can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Warner NFL. I'll be tweeting live from the game, giving you my insight and what I see at the stadium. You can follow Peanut Party Doll Dave 1 as well. We'll be back next week, hopefully talking about an Eagles victory and dissecting the Eagles Denver Broncos game. So until then, as we say here on Birds, Beers, and BS, drink them if you got them.
Attention, listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds. Ready for an out-of-world experience, fellas? Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has just taken off in not only the USA, but Canada, the UK, across Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your whole solar system. First, scheduled for liftoff, new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. This spaceship is here to guide you on a journey to trim your body, balls, butt, and even Uranus. This 4th generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on-off switch, can engage a travel lock, and is even waterproof. The Lawnmower 4.0 also has a 4000K LED spotlight you can turn on and off when needed for a more precise shave throughout your travels across the universe. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker. It's like having a little astronaut to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Don't forget to use Crop Preserver ball deodorant and their Crop Reviver to help your little planets be on their A-game while feeling the sun's heat. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Abort hairy balls and Buzz Lightyear that Woody with Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds at manscaped.com. For a clean trinity and beyond, your Spaceballs will thank you.